So, all right. Good afternoon, all the shifters in the house. Welcome to the Shift Happen show with myself and Deena. Now, if you guys have been following along and you've been seeing the posts up, you will know that this is going to be all about AI and the robots.
Cari and the
I
robot.
should have done.
That sounds like a good band.
I don't know. I can't do the robot business, but Tina, let's see your best robot.
I'm going to take a pass on that, Cari, because I don't even know where to start. Not like, like from here up, make a robot. Like, I don't know. I'm not a meat moop. Not. I haven't seen enough robots to know how to mimic one. Put it that way.
Right? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Oh, people are already saying good luck to me.
Yeah, good luck, Cari.
I agree. Good luck. Like,
good sport. I say good sport because I'm not even going there.
I did take dance classes. Now, I did take hip hop years ago. There was no robot involved, as you can tell.
That's all right.
We didn't
You
have
didn't
a
do the
robot
Mr.
introduction.
Roboto.
Mr. Roboto, no. Oh my goodness, that song. It was like such a hit when it came out back in the day.
Many moons ago. Okay, so what have you been doing? Briefly, let's update people on what we've done in the last 2 weeks, because we have a special guest waiting in our green room with, as you mentioned,
the
top grade champagne, a beautiful charcuterie board. So I went on a road trip with my son. It was absolutely fantastic. We 2 nights we were away at about 18, 19 hours of driving. Love it. And
love it.
He's like early 30s, and I don't see enough of him. And we just had a great visit. Got to see my dad and a bestie. What else have I been doing? Oh, I spoke at the U of A twice, and just staycation. A staycation. Yeah, I hung out with my grandson a little bit yesterday. I love that. So, what about you, Cari?
That's so cute.
Since
we last spoke, we have been underwater.
Like so crazy. Much rain.
So much rain, but as they always say, we need the rain. We don't need the floods, but we need the rain. It was so funny. I saw on social media, it was, 2 pictures. One at the top said Calgary 2024, and it was how we need the emergency water supply because we had the main break, and then Calgary 2025, and we're all underwater. We needed water. Universe gave us water. So a year later, we're underwater. So I had to laugh at that. So it's been raining. I've been working like a dog. So there's that. I have my Connected with Cari show on the weekend. Not too much has been happening. I'd say nothing over, above, and beyond and extraordinary. I did Stampede. I don't know if we did a show kind of in there. I went to Bow Habitat Station this afternoon and fed some fishes. So that was fun. Learned a little bit about water and the environment.
No dead bodies or anything. It's usually they're feeding the fishes. The mafia took them out.
Right. So there's the Sam Livingston Fish Hatchery here in Calgary, which is super cool, is that they breed rainbow trout and some other types of fish there at the hatchery. And so they actually fertilize them in the wilderness, if you will.
I didn't realize this was going to be a sex ed class, Cari. You might have been able to give some of us a heads up. There might be little people.
This is not filtered. This is not a filtered show.
Is this unfiltered? This isn't clean cut. Everybody should know.
Okay, so they literally got the sperm of the male fish and the eggs from the female fish, and they swoosh them around in this not the
petri
fish
dish,
just not even a petri dish.
Baggie.
They put in some kind of filtered water
sandwich
or
bag.
whatever in a sandwich meat in a container. So they fill it with water, and then they put these sperm and the eggs and like they squish the fish and it flies into the water.
Yeah.
I just saw an educational film on this when I was there. Okay.
And now you're an
swish
expert.
it around.
I love it.
I'm
I
an
love
expert.
it.
So they swish it around to make sure, like,
how to make your own and grow your own fish.
exactly. So they
You need a
swish it
male and a
around.
female. You squish them. You put it in a thing and you squish it in
Not
water.
the fish, just the sperm and the eggs into
the
a
stuff you squeeze
container.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. And you release the fish back to the wild. And then you swish the jar around, and then you hope like they fertilize at that time. Then they put them into like bigger containers, and then they transport them to the hatchery. And then when they get to the hatching place, the hatchery, they go into these tanks that are like, make sure that like room temperature or whatever they're from. If they're from a cold lake, they'll make it colder or whatever, temp it, whatever. And then they live in there until they get a little bigger. And then they transport them into another container, like another big like pool, and watch them as they grow. And it's so cool. So you can go, they give you little pellets, and then you can feed the fishies, and they're about like this big, and you can feed them, and then they have certain feeding times per day, $3 a person to go and feed fish. Awesome. Then they have like a little gallery up top about like water consumption and all this stuff about water and how it contributes to the fishies, because you want to keep the fishies alive, not swim with the fishes. We're not none of that. It's, so it was really good. And then all about like recycling and the forestry and how it all all that stuff was very good. So I did that actually a couple months ago, and then my friend's like, yeah, let's do it today and just do a revamp of it, walk around, do that. Like, okay. Got home, and then I was on a phone call for the last hour, and I'm like, oh crap, I need to meet my friends and shift.
Love that. I just came in from the garden. We've been picking peas and beans and Saskatoons, and already been eating.
I wonder if you can intermix them and
cucumbers and
make some new berries. Some baby
I probably could. I take this tree and squish it, and take this other. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Now we're going down the chasing squirrels here now.
Well, no, because this can go into totally AI. I'm so sure.
I'm okay. I'm curious how that segue is working.
Well, you see, it all starts with one little tiny gigabyte, and it grows, and it can become a terabyte, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing. You start with a little baby one, and it gets bigger and bigger. If you more storage you use, so it grows as you nurture it and love it. And then it becomes bigger. And then it's like, oh, we're switching houses now. It's not just a little flash drive. You have to get bigger and exterior hard drives. And, so yeah, it's comparable. See?
Good job, Cari. Good
job. Thank you.
Let's bring our expert on. I feel I'd like to hear what he has to say about all of this.
So, Allan, welcome to The Shift Happens, where many shifts are happening right now as we speak.
Thank you. Nice to be on.
Absolutely. Allan was a former guest on Connected with Cari. I would say it was probably about a month and a half ago now. And we did talk about AI there. And I had said, Allan, come on, let's talk shift, AI shift. And you can talk about, some people are so afraid of AI, and you think about the movies and the aliens and the fish. And so we don't want to have that same mindset. But Allan, please formally introduce yourself and a little bit about what you do, and then we'll get into Deena's questions.
Or informally.
Yeah.
Well,
I call myself an AI enthusiast. I don't like to use the term AI guru or AI expert. There's very few of those around, but I'm an AI enthusiast. And I can tell you what I did to become an AI enthusiast, how I got to where I am today. But I've written a book on AI called The Urgency Code, Why We Must Act Now Before It's Too Late. It's actually got nothing to do with tools, AI tools and all that. It's just, it's worth a read. And if anyone wants to see what the actual book is about, they can go to Amazon and check it out. But I also founded a company called Zenoshi AI to educate people. This is right after ChatGPT came out, because I realized people were thinking it was just trends and buzzwords, and they were not paying attention. And I still think people are not paying attention. I think they're only paying attention to one thing right now, and that's I use AI, and if you ask them what they're using, ChatGPT. That's all they know, right? So there's that. I then started because that's free. The education's free. Everything, the newsletter that we drop every week is free. And then we've got a platform that I've developed that we've just launched that gives you everything: ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Perplexity, everything at one price, rather than having to pay each one of them individually or having them all in different browsers. I wanted them all in one spot. So I really built it for me. And I like it so much that we've started to promote it to others, and we're starting to get some traction on that. So that's kind of a quick synopsis of what I do. And I do all of this, by the way, on the side. I have a full-time job as an executive vice president of channel at a company called United Cloud. It's a company based here in Calgary, in Chestermere, actually. So very, very busy, very intense job. And I just do this part in the evenings, on Saturdays, Sundays, all that kind of stuff. So I'm an extremely busy guy.
Well, we sure appreciate you being here with us, because it's something, I think, a topic that it's fascinating how you got into it. And many haven't maybe been courageous enough to do that. They just want to be very black and white about it. Like, I'm totally scared of it, or I'm really going to just try and use it in every possible way, but I don't know how. And so it's really fascinating then to see that you can be an enthusiast. You can kind of just figure out where it's going to work and get in touch with a community like yours to take yourself to the next level and realize that there isn't just one ChatGPT. AI has been part of our world and our lives in many ways for many years. We just didn't realize that that's what it was, or wouldn't have called it that. So I would encourage people to check that out. And I'm assuming, Cari, that we can share links so that people can find Allan after the show.
We can put him in.
And by the way, when you talk about, before I leave today, remind me, I want to share 4 tips on how people can actually do what I did. I'll just share what I did. And those are the 4 tips I recommend to anybody if you want to become an enthusiast, which I highly recommend, because if you're not using AI now, you are going to get replaced by somebody using AI. So use it. And if you are a retired person and you don't need, I don't care about being replaced. I don't even have a job. You know what? There's so much fun you can have with AI. So many things you can do. Videos you can create. You could become a movie exec soon. There's so much you can do with it. So I want to talk about that before we leave here today.
Yeah,
that would be amazing. And I think I'm happy that you addressed all the different ages. And I think another thing that retired people, or even anybody, like, I'm a grandma, so I know that my grandkids are going to be using these tools. Why be afraid of them? Why not have fun with them, learn with them, explore these ways of creating and communicating?
Well, I tell you, kids are incredibly important in this whole thing. I mean, I see teenagers, and I've had the pleasure of talking to some of them. Their parents brought them over, and I've been talking about AI. And even though they came to the things that I've done, kicking and screaming, they didn't want to hear it. When they came, they went, no, can we have an extra 15 minutes? So they were that enthused. And the big most motivational factor for these folks, for these teens, is I don't want to go get a job at Tim Hortons. When I see my friends making $500 a month on YouTube or on Instagram using AI tools. And honestly, and I see kids doing this, teenagers making $300, $400, $500, $700, and I don't know why adults are not doing this. All they're using is ChatGPT to write an email. I mean, this is what, there's a problem here, and people need to get up to speed quickly. They need to amplify where they're at. And I agree, Deena, that what you just said, because I think people are scared, and they don't have to be scared, because this is not like going and learning. When the internet came out, we had to go and learn HTML5 and HTML. You know what? You don't have to learn that. AI is actually super easy to use. If you just got to go and use it, just like using ChatGPT. But even people are not using ChatGPT properly. They're not prompting properly. They're going, reply to this email. My prompts are long. They're like, entire paragraphs. I write an entire email, and then I ask ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude to improve it. And then and if it's a really important email or a really important project, or I'm writing an ebook, I will go and do it in all three. I want all three of them. And then I pick the best parts out of each of the three, and I put it into, and I create my ebook that way. So you've got to be the human in the loop there. You can't just let ChatGPT or Gemini go do it.
Yeah. You can copy and paste. If you write out an email somewhere else, and you copy paste it, put it into different programs, and then kind of see what it spits out and go, okay, which is the best one. If it's worded one way, even if you word it a different way, and go in and copy paste it and see what happens through that, right? So you never know what you can come up with. But I love the fact that now, you can use it for writing a book. You can do it for like your content for social media. You can do it for whatever. Like it's so feasible across so many platforms, and it spits it out right then and there, and it's amazing. But I want to backpedal and go back to, what our first thoughts were of AI. Why do you think we as a community and we as a society got so afraid of AI? What do you think caused that?
I think the biggest reason, I see it even now, I still talk to people today. There are content writers, for example. There are copywriters. There are designers. These are the people most affected by AI today. And they think that, I lose my value if I'm going to use AI. And I disagree. I don't think you're going to use your value. I think it increases your value. It amplifies your value, because you've just got to learn how to use it so that it amplifies your value. I mean, think about, human beings that use spell check today instead of a dictionary. It doesn't make them less valuable. They use Google instead of memorizing encyclopedias. Doesn't make them less valuable. Or they use a calculator instead of doing long division by hand. None of this makes them less valuable. So use AI the same way to enhance and amplify what you're good at and what you're maybe not good at. AI can do things that we don't know how to do. I don't know how to code, for example. I never learned how to code, and I wished like crazy that when I did learn how to code, because I wouldn't have to wait for something. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm always thinking of ideas, and I want to create something. I go, oh man, I got to go find somebody who can code this. So I'll go to freelancer.com, or I'll go to Fiverr, and I try and find somebody. It's going to cost me $800 to get somebody to code something. Guess what? I can code something now without needing I just have an idea. I can go and type that idea into replit.com. Replit, I don't know if it's .com, but Replit, I can go type it into Lovable or Bolt.neo or any of these things, and boom, it produces this great thing that I wanted to create. And I created it. You could create a website today. I went and did this, and it blew my mind. I went and created a website and I want to keep dropping these names so that people will take up, go and look these up. But I think it's called v0.dev. And you can go there and you can just type in what you want, and it'll create an entire website in 3 minutes.
Wow.
3 minutes. Okay.
And I will be right back.
I went, and so you can create this. Now, if you look at a teenager that can go and do this for others, not everybody's going to want to do this, even though they can do it in 3 minutes, right? They're not going to want to do it because the website doesn't come out perfectly. There's going to be, I didn't want that there. Well, how do you change that there now? Well, you just go and type in, take that out, add this in, and it'll do it. It'll add that in. So, but the most fascinating thing I did was I had my daughter visiting from Toronto with her fiance, and he has a music business, and he was talking about BeatStars, this very complex website called BeatStars, where you can go and put your beats on there that you've created. And he said, I'd like to create something like this. I said, let's go do it. And he, well, what do you mean, let's go do it? I said, let's go do it. It'll take me 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Well, it took us a little longer. I'll tell you why. I typed in
5.5.
Yeah, I went in and I said, create a site like BeatStars. That's all I said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it said, when it started doing it, we ate supper, came back down. It was ready. The entire website was built with a back end, everything I just blew my mind. And I did that with bubble.io, right? Now that we did a free version on that. And most of the stuff has a free side to it.
Yeah.
So you can go, Replit, for example, has a free. You can go and try it out for free. But if you have to go spend $20, spend the $20 instead of going and spending it at the dollar store, for crying out loud, or going and spending it at Starbucks. Go spend $20 and amplify your AI skills, for crying out loud, right?
No more Timmy's care.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's amazing. Like, to get a whole web page done in minutes.
Yeah.
Think of that. Think how much time that saves and energy. And and then you could just switch our little thing here. I don't want this. I don't want that. Put this in, put that in, bam.
There's an interesting video on YouTube. I've got it open here. And it's called How a 91-Year-Old who had never coded before in his life, a 91-year-old vibe coding is where you're doing this. It's got a fancy term for typing in a prompt and getting a website. How a 91-year-old vibe coded a complex church event system using Claude and Replit. 91 years old. And so my big thing has been, my claim to fame has been, I'm an old guy. I'm 68 years old. What the heck are you doing at 40, 50, 30, 25, whatever? Well, I got no art. I can't say that anymore because a 91-year-old just beat me. Right? 91-year-old. Right? So, there's no excuse for anyone today. AI is so easy to use. It's just a matter of going and trying it out. And that's one of the tips that I've got, is just going and using tools and seeing what they can do. One of the challenges I have for your audience, by the way, today is go to ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, or all three preferably, and maybe even use my all of them in one site called ZenoshiAIO.com. We'll have a link in underneath the YouTube when it's published. And tell it that you want an ebook on something, an ebook on how to raise your child or how to potty train your child, let's say, right? Mm-hmm. Write an ebook on some topic and then keep on enhancing that ebook until you got what you want. Once you've got that ebook content, I want you to go to Canva and get Canva to create all of the visuals, or better than that, go to perplexity.ai and go get Perplexity. And by the way, I don't know why anyone would ever use Google today. Google is so yesterday. Use Perplexity. Perplexity is the AI search engine that we need to be using. And use Perplexity and tell Perplexity that you want free ebook creator, AI ebook creator websites. It'll give you a whole bunch of them. Find one that you like. Then go take your content, put it in it, and boom, it'll create an ebook for you. And once you've created the ebook, don't stay there. Go and put it on Gumroad. Gumroad is free. Go put it on Gumroad and sell it for $10 or $5.
Okay.
And
all right.
And then once it's on Gumroad won't charge you anything for this. They'll charge you when it sells. So they'll charge you 3% or 5% or whatever it is. Okay. So go put it on Gumroad for free. Now, you could do the same thing with art, put it on Etsy. You can do all this kind of stuff. You know what? Do something today. That's what my pitch is to people today.
Just to play. This sounds like it's AI playground. Well, I've got ebooks I could put on right now, and I didn't even use. I created them without AI, the one for sure entirely.
Yeah.
But this is, so there's a catch here too, because I also publish a magazine and newsletters, and right now, 100% digital. But I've come across other places where I have submitted some of my own content, my own writing, and I wrote it all. I typed it. I didn't even run it through ChatGPT or any of the other AI programs to improve it. But there was little disclaimers when you submit that they will run it through a test site to see the percent of AI generated content. And some of these places you are offered the option to, it's an honor system to say, yes, it's AI generated, or it's been assisted, or it's this percentage that has been. So now, as a publisher myself, I don't test the content that's submitted. I'm curious, if I took an article I completely wrote myself and ran it through ChatGPT and said, hey, look for any errors, or maybe if I've been repetitious, or let's clean this up, make it a little more concise, but in my language, in my tone. Now I copy that and submit it. Has that now looked as if it's 100% AI generated?
No, because there are AI, I can't find the word right now, but where you can go and put it into a site where it'll actually tell you what percentage of it is AI. So they use those. They use those sites to tell how much of it is AI. So when I was publishing my book on Amazon, it asked me what percentage of my book was on AI. And I said about 20%, because I did take each chapter. I wrote the chapter myself. I then went into, because I love writing. So I wrote the chapter myself. I went into all three LLMs that I used regularly, and I had it enhance it, do something with it, make it better, right? And I loved what came out. And I used parts of each of them to then finish up my chapter. So about 20%. The cover is 100% AI. And I said that on there, right? I'm not an artist. I wanted to create by the way, this is what it looks like. It's that's the cover. And that's all cool. AI, right?
So that doesn't look so urgent, though.
Maybe the red makes it look urgent. I don't know. Hopefully. But yeah, they can tell whether it's AI. I think this is today. We're in the early days of AI still, right? And I think everybody is concerned about how much of it is AI, how much of it is not, because I think that people are doing that stupid stuff I talked about earlier, where they're not writing the content themselves and then having AI actually enhance it. They're just going to AI and say, write me this, right? Like what I just said with the ebook, write me an entire ebook on potty training. I would rather you didn't do that. I'd rather you actually go and put down all your tips for how you potty trained your kid and create as much of that in there, and then go ask AI to turn that into an ebook. That's what I'd rather. But people don't do that, and they use the lazy way. And unfortunately, there's a lot of AI garbage out there. It's just, you can tell the AI stuff out there. It's just regurgitated stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, but AI is getting better and better. So it's not going to be like that always, right? No. I mean, I'm seeing journalistic articles now that I know are written by AI. How do you know? There's one dead giveaway. I might have said this on the last podcast.
Hyphens?
There's that hyphen.
They are commentated like this.
It's called an M dash, that hyphen. It's a long, it's not normal. I can't find it anywhere on my keyboard. So the M dash is a much longer. And I see that, I go, written by AI, Now, the thing is that some of the stuff is pretty good, though, that's written by AI, and it's going to get better and better and better. So how long more they're going to keep questioning about how much of it is written by AI, I think that's going to go away. In a year or two, nobody's even going to bother with that.
No, I don't think so at all. Yeah.
Because when it regurgitates what, it's enhancing your article, it can throw in those M dashes, and now you've got. Now it looks like something came out of, so you feel like you lose some integrity and credibility. And I was just talking to my husband this afternoon about photography. I'd love to dabble more in photography, but I even look back through some images that I've taken that I'm think, oh, this turned out really good. But are people going to just think this is AI generated? And I don't, and he's like, does it matter if somebody were to buy it and they're happy with it and you're happy with it, but there's that integrity piece that you still, and that credibility to say, no, I captured that myself. I mean, yes, it's enhanced somewhat already. Our phones are smart. And it's enhancing it. So it is assisted. It's not like I was using a DSLR, the old school, but
there's a lot of integrity questions for sure, right? There's a lot of integrity questions, and it's mostly coming from the artists, from the writers. They're the ones that are concerned, and rightfully so, right? I mean, my daughter is a content writes content at a very high level. She's a senior she's concerned about this kind of stuff, right? And I can't minimize that. I mean, there is a concern, but I think it's just that those concerns are even going to go away from the general public, and as more and more of this happens. All I'm asking is, if you are a serious writer, use AI to enhance your stuff, but go back in after it's enhanced and correct the things. Take out the M dash. That looks stupid. Take it out. Put a comma in there where that should have been in there in the first place. Grammar better than anybody if you're a writer. So why have that M dash in there? And why have I use Grammarly, because I'm not good at grammar. And I use Grammarly. And when I take something from AI that AI is enhanced and I put it into Grammarly, it's terrible. AI hasn't got grammar down, right? So if you're a writer,
it takes some time. We as humans had to take time to learn our own language, and it's changed over the years so many times. And then each word changes through the years as well. Everything, it means something else. So by the time the computers AI picks up what the word is, it's going to be changed by then. So how quickly is this going to actually happen? Probably not that fast.
AI is getting better and better. I want to tell you a story.
But not as fast as we think it will.
But it's pretty fast. I'll tell you something that I heard a story. It was an Instagram story by the guy, what's his name? Vishaan Lakhani, I believe. He's the guy from Mind Valley, the founder of Mind Valley.
Yeah.
So I saw a story by him, and it blew my mind. I mean, he was talking about ChatGPT. Now, he's been in the early days of ChatGPT, like me, started doing the things that I was doing. So we'll share that with you soon. But he was talking about how he had just recently moved to Dubai, got a new apartment, and he thought it was, I've got to go shopping, and this big, massive Dubai mall that is there. I got to go look for all this stuff in the Dubai. It's got so many entrances. Like if you've ever been to West Edmonton Mall, right? It's got all those entrances. So he said, let me go to ChatGPT and see what ChatGPT can do for me. So he went in and said, listen, I need all these things that I've got moved in a new apartment. I need a plunger. I need a Wi-Fi router. I need a backpack. He put all this stuff in, and he says, can you tell me, when I go into Dubai Mall, which is the best entrance to get into to pick up all these items so I can minimize how much I've got to walk and go and find. So it drew the map, told him where to go in, how to get everything, what things to get, all at which stores, all that kind of stuff. Drew out everything for him. And it said, but my last suggestion is
order online.
Amazon.
No, my last suggestion is go get the backpack first. You could put everything into the backpack. And he said when he heard that, he picked up the phone and called his guys at Mind Valley and said, stop hiring right now, because every 3.5 months, the AI power doubles, right? And if ChatGPT had gotten that good where it almost felt human, saying, here's a suggestion, get the backpack first. I mean, that blew my mind too. And so I know what's happening. What AI can't do today, give it 3 months.
Yeah.
Give it 6 months maximum. And AI will be doing the things that you think it can't do today. So it's moving fast. And this is why I'm worried about people not adopting AI now and just using ChatGPT. To me, that's not adopting AI. If you are using ChatGPT and saying I'm using AI, you're not, right? And you're going to get left behind if all you ever use is ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT does a lot of stuff, but it's not everything. And if you don't know how to use the other tools, you're going to get replaced at work, right? You've got to know, are you using Copilot instead of using ChatGPT at work? Copilot, if you've got Microsoft already paid for, use Copilot at work, right? So I've just produced, I finished doing the book. I'm going to be putting it into I don't know if I'm going to sell it or not. It might offer it free to my audience, but it's the best tips and strategies to use Copilot at work. How to use Copilot inside Excel and PowerPoint and Word and all that kind of stuff, right? So people are not paying attention to this stuff, and they need to.
Yeah, I think that's also a fear, is they don't know how to use it, right? It's not necessarily that they're not afraid to use it, but it's how to use it. So like you said, the very simple form of ChatGPT they're in, and they're, they don't know how to give the prompts. So I think that causes more of the fear than, oh yeah, well, I don't mind using it, but it's like, did I ask the right question? Did I do that properly?
Yeah.
So it kind of, and that's the same with using all the other platforms, is how am I using it? Am I using it correctly? What do we do? What are the tips to do that? Right. So I think maybe that's more the fear. And again, a bigger fear would be, losing jobs, but it's not losing jobs. It's incorporating that AI into the workplace and how to use that properly to enhance your performance so that you are up to date. Because that's it. Like a lot of professions, doctors, nurses, lawyers, whatever, they all have to recertify. They all have to get, do the bar again or do this or do that. So it's kind of the same thing, right?
So,
you're just
Cari,
updating.
I really liked what you just said. You said something about prompts, and I think this is really important. People don't know how to prompt, and you're absolutely right. So one of the ways that they can learn how to prompt is figure out what they want, and then go and tell ChatGPT what they want and say, can you make a prompt for me that I can use to ask you what I really want out of this? This is all I know right now. Now, so I do this sometimes when I'm going into Replit to create something. And by the way, I want to tell you something that I want to create for you, Cari. Okay. So I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. But before I go and create it in Replit, I'll go to ChatGPT or Gemini, and I'll say, or Claude. Claude is very good for this. I'll go in and type out, I want to create this. Can you help me create a prompt for Replit that Replit would understand what I want? And that works beautifully. Now, what I want to create for you, by the way, is I noticed when people register for a podcast, or they want to sign up for a podcast, and you got a bunch of questions, I want to sit down and talk to you and ask you what it is you need. And then I'm going to create this just because I want to teach myself. I want to go and take all of the things that you need. I'm going to put it into a prompt in ChatGPT. I want to create this agent for you, for Cari, and I want to create it in Replit. Give me the prompt for that. It's going to give me the prompt. I'm going to go to Replit. I'm going to create it, and I'm going to go launch it in Replit, and I'm going to give you the site so that you can start using it to get people to sign up for your podcast.
No, okay. All right.
Okay.
Do you need to know now?
No, not right now. We'll have
it's like we could do it. We could do it live right now in front of the audience. But you did say you did have some slides that you did want to share with us.
You had 4 tips that you wanted to share for sure.
And the 4 tips.
I do have the 4 tips. I didn't have any slides. I didn't bring anything. I didn't prepare anything.
Oh, you didn't bring the slides.
I didn't know that you wanted slides. Anyway.
You said you were going to bring slides. You're like, do you mind if I share some slides? I'm like,
okay, all right. Well, I can always share things. Believe me.
back in the day when you're in school and like the teacher brought in the TV on wheels and you're like, okay, that was the moment that I had. And it was like slides.
Yeah, I could show you lots of stuff, but let me talk about these 4 things before we get too carried away. So how do you get more into the AI stuff? What I did, okay, the first thing I did was I went and signed up for 3 AI newsletters. There's lots of them around, right?
Okay.
AI newsletters, and I actually read them. I get so many emails, I don't get a chance to read them, but I read my AI newsletter. Today, I'm not signed up for 3. I probably got 14 or 15 of them that I read. And I don't get to read all of them every day, but I save them and I read them whenever I've got some downtimes. Instead of me, here's the thing, that where are you going to find the time to do all this stuff, right? The 4 things I'm going to share with you.
Yes.
Where are you going to find? Stop doom scrolling on Instagram. Stop doom scrolling on Facebook. Stop doing all this stuff, right? Start, and this is fun. You'll have a lot of fun with this AI stuff.
Okay. But I'm not going to stop sending funny memes to Deena.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Because we need that.
Yeah. No, that's good. Do that.
Okay.
But you don't need to spend 30 minutes doing it. I see people going on TikTok, right? And it's one after the other. And you could spend a whole hour and a half. I've done it. I've spent a whole hour and a half on TikTok because once you get going, it's so addicting. But I stopped doing that because I really wanted to become this AI expert for me, not for anybody else. So 3 AI newsletters. Subscribe to ZenoshiAI.com. We've got a newsletter there that we send out every week. That's one of the, and in the newsletter, all these newsletters usually will have tools. If they don't have tools that they're recommending to you, don't subscribe to their newsletter, right? So they've got tools, they've got advice, they've got the latest news in AI. This is what you're paying attention to. Number 2 is, I'd say, spend at least 15 to 30 minutes a day on AI YouTube videos and podcasts. There's some good stuff. When I drive to work now, I don't listen to, I used to listen to an Audible book or something. I don't do that. I listen to a podcast, right?
Like The Shift Happens.
Yes, please do. Like this one here that's talking about AI, listen to that. You're gonna learn some things. And you might not, if you're listening to it while driving, of course, you're not gonna be able to write down all of the Replit and Lovable and things that I'm sharing with you. But after you've gotten to your destination, put them in your notes, in your Apple Notes or wherever you put those things in and go and check them out when you've got some time later on, right?
Or you can ask ChatGPT to give you a review from this show. Put the link in.
Summary.
A summary of This Shift Happens AI shifts.
That's a great idea. See? Great idea. Love it, Cari.
Look at you, Cari.
I learned something.
Cari knows this stuff.
That's awesome.
So,
okay, I kind of use it, but anyway, yeah. No, it saves a lot of time because some people don't have time to go back and watch a whole episode, right?
Yeah.
So if you can go in there and you know the show's about AI, which you do, then you can go, okay, what was the takeaways from this show? Because maybe you don't have time to watch it all right now. You want the tips, then you can go back and watch the full thing, right?
I've done that with books too.
There you go. Cole's notes, right?
Main takeaways from this book.
Yes, I do that with books as well. I think you miss some of the stuff when you do that, though, especially with books. I love reading. I love writing. So I think reading the book, if it's got some interesting content. So I'll get the Cole's Notes versions of it in ChatGPT. But if that inspires me, I'll go read the whole book, right?
So, and I've done it the other way too, Allan. I've read the book, and because I usually have multiple books on the go at once, then as a refresher or as a quick checklist, I'll ask for that summary, and it's like, boom, there it is. Okay, there's all the takeaways.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, that's a really good point. The other thing that I do when I'm on YouTube, by the way, there's a guy that I follow called Greg Eisenberg, and Greg's a guy. He's called the Startup Guy. That's what the podcast is called, the Startup Guy. Now, I am a big believer, and it's one of the things we really talk about a lot in our newsletter that we put out, Zenoshi AI Edge, is about having a side hustle. Now, I don't like the word side hustle so much, but being an entrepreneur is going to be critically important over the next 5 to 10 years. And if you read my book on the urgency code, that's what it talks about. It talks about right now amplifying your AI stuff is going to save your job over the next 5 years, 7 years. But honestly, 10 to 20 years from now, if you're in the workforce, you're going to lose your job. I don't care who you are. Everybody's going to lose their jobs, right? And I've had this argument with many. I've told doctors that they're going to lose their jobs. They didn't believe me, and now they're believing me. Now they're starting to say, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Okay. So, and that's why having an entrepreneurial passion on the side is going to be very important, because you'll have some money coming in from that if you've done it right. So the startup guy, not only is he good to listen to for startup ideas, but he's really good for listening to tools. There's tools I've heard about there that I never knew even existed. Tools like Manus.ai, I never heard about. And now it blows my mind every time I use it, because Manus AI, unlike ChatGPT, can do one thing at a time. Manus.ai can do 3 or 4 things at the same time. It can research Google Trends while it's researching Reddit trends, while it's getting you other information. It's incredible what it does, right? So go listen to Greg Eisenberg, and you'll learn some of this stuff. I'm not doing any podcasts, otherwise you'd learn it from me. I don't have time to do a podcast. But that would be the other thing that I would do on YouTube while you're there. The third thing that I would do is, when you learn about these AI tools, when you hear about Manus.ai, don't just say, oh, that sounds pretty cool. Go and use it. Go find something, type something in there, figure out something. This is the age of ideas. I think I mentioned this last time, even Cari, that, there was a guy named Gary Vee who said, ideas are worth crap until they're acted upon. Well, not anymore.
Absolutely.
Not anymore. Today, ideas are important.
But now ideas are great.
You can go and take that idea and put it into Replit and develop something, right? And the fourth one is explore at least one new AI tool every week. Like when I say explore, I mean actually use it. So when you hear about 3 AI tools, and my third point was, use at least 3 AI tools in a week. What I mean is use ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. Even if you already have used them before, use them every single day, okay? But take one tool that you've heard about that's new, like Replit or Manus AI or whatever, and use it every day for a week. That one tool every day for a week, right? Until you've gotten used to it. Then go take another tool and do that every day for a week. In 52 weeks, you are going to be up to speed on AI, because there's new tools coming up. Yeah. Right? Like use HeyGen, for example. HeyGen has avatars. You can go and create TikTok videos on AI with AI avatar and throw it onto TikTok or YouTube, and without your face being on it. And it's an AI avatar talking about your show. So you can have this created about Shift and talking about Shift and saying how great it is. Right?
We could be baby Cari and baby Deena, just like baby Judge Judy. Let's do that.
Let's do it. I've been wanting to do a baby one for so long, but I didn't know which AI to generate that in. I have to say that I have this feeling, because so much of I have multimedia platforms. I'm always curious to learn, and I love this whole idea. But I'm also feeling a real wave of overwhelm, Allan. Whoa, there's just, and it's developing. There's more and more. It's multiplying so much faster than I'm going to be able to digest it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why I break it down into those bite-sized pieces, right? 3, if you can't do 3 newsletters, do 1, right? But start reading the newsletters, start using 2 or 3 tools a week, listen to YouTube. Here's the thing. If you're feeling overwhelmed by doing those small things today, you're not going to be able to do all the things that's coming. And you're going to be, instead of being overwhelmed, you're going to be overrun.
Yeah.
You're going to be run over because you're standing still.
Think of it as a gigabyte. One little tiny thing at a time, Deena.
There you go. She goes right back to the beginning. What real experts do, they tie it all to the beginning, right?
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Let's
No,
throw
that's
that in there.
exactly it. So I
Yeah.
understand the overwhelm, but right now
Oh,
we've
yeah.
got to move a little faster. And we can find that time by taking it out of things that we may be wasting time on right now, right?
Yeah.
And spend it on AI, because AI is moving. The internet, I got in on the early days of the internet as well. But I can tell you, since I was there on the early days of the internet, that it was never moving as fast as AI is moving now.
Oh, no, not
You
at
know,
all. But I keep using the thought process for people who are like, no, not AI, like it's terrible. I said everybody thought the internet was pure evil when
yeah, yeah,
it first came out. Like, not everybody, but there were those in that camp that just
Yeah.
thought you had to stay away from it. It was just manipulative. It was Big Brother. It was evil. All those things.
The devil worshiping, blah, 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 you name
And
it.
then it's become so vital to our daily
Yeah.
life now. And I think, everything can be manipulated and used in nefarious ways, but let's
You can take
be-
something and use it for good or bad, right? So
yeah. And
what
by
are we
learning
doing?
and using it and encouraging others to become enthusiasts and using it for good, then we can be that power behind it as well.
that's
Yeah.
right. That's
It could
right.
be
So
majority good,
you
not
think about
majority
that.
evil.
You think about that 91-year-old that I just talked about. He used it for good.
Right.
The church was doing
Yeah.
everything manually, and it was taking them forever to get all of that stuff entered in. Go watch that video, that 91-year-old vibe coding, and see what he did. I mean, it can be used for good. There's a lot of good stuff that can come out of it, but people just have to start using it. That's all I'm saying. Is start using it more than just ChatGPT. If you're just using ChatGPT and saying you're using AI, you're not, and you're going to get displaced in the workplace. You're going to get displaced in business. Your business is going to suffer because other businesses are taking advantage of it, right? So whatever it is you're doing, enhance it with AI, and if you're feeling overwhelmed, slow down a little bit, but still go and learn. At least watch a YouTube video every day, right?
Yeah, like anybody can do that. Or like you said, use the same tool at least once every day for a week. And then you're going to be more comfortable every day, a little more comfortable. Oh, what's this button? Oh, what would this do? Something that was really fun I did is I created some songs for some of the kids in my family. And it was the thing that really impressed me is my son-in-law is like he knows, I mean, he's techie to the nth, like he's incredibly brilliant. And he saw those songs that I created and he said, that was scary good, scary in a positive way. But he's like, that was scary good. And that was free. And I just went in and I inputted, here's a few interests. This is the genre I want. And it spit out these fun songs that were personalized. So why can't a grandma and grandpa go, or, somebody just do something fun like that. Impress your grandkids. So there's some amazing tools out there.
There is.
And not as you're learning it too. I think what's also important is the skills you learned, teach someone else if you can, right? Because that improves your own learning as well as teaching someone. If you can, if there's someone around that wants to learn
brain too.
Yes.
Really healthy for the brain.
Yeah.
And that's a shift. I think people are like, oh, we're dumbing, it's dumbing us down.
No.
Whoa. Like if you think of just what you've shared with us today, Allan.
Yeah. I'm like,
that sound like that's going to dumb us down? Like that sounds like you're encouraging us to learn, like keep
like, slow down. We want to write this. Deena's writing it down. She's like, I don't want to miss this. Deena, I want to remind you that you can go and you can get the Cole's notes for this after.
Yeah. I want to hear the fourth point, Allan.
Yeah.
Well, the fourth point was explore at least one new AI tool every week and use it. Right.
Okay.
And if you don't know where to go and get some of these AI tools, I've got a recommendation for something called Product Hunt. Go and sign up for Product Hunt. Search it on the internet. It sends you an email. I think it's every day, and they will share all these new products with you. It's crazy stuff that comes out there. Just today I looked at, I don't know, 4 new products that I want to check out myself. So
busy. My goodness.
there's so many tools getting dropped all the time. There's no way anybody can keep up with it. But you want to find one that resonates with you and then go use it. But you were talking about AI, and I do. There's an MIT study that came out that talked about how AI is creating brain rot. It's true. AI will create brain rot. I'll tell you how. And we talked about it earlier in the show. And that is, if you don't do the work yourself and just go to AI and just say copy and paste. So I saw somebody that was saying they took an email from an upset client and they didn't even know how to respond to that email. So they took the email from the upset client, went into ChatGPT and said, please respond to this. And that is terrible. That is what causes brain rot. You've got to sit down there and reply to that client, then take what you've got, that reply, put it into ChatGPT or Gemini
regenerate it,
and ask it to do that. And then what it's going to do is going to produce a report, or if it's a good AI, ChatGPT will ask you, or you say to it, tell me if you've got any questions. And ChatGPT said, what kind of reply do you want? Do you want it to be soft? Do you want it to be tough? Do you want it to be a negotiable type of email back? And what do you want to say in this? And then it'll go ahead and do that. But if you don't actually create something yourself and you just go in and I had someone say to me, but my English is terrible. Well, that's fine. ChatGPT knows how to deal with that. Still write your stuff out, type your stuff out, then go post it in there. And I think that's what's happening right now. Kids are going in. When I was talking to the kids as well, I've said, I don't mind ChatGPT or Gemini helping you with your homework. What I don't want it to do is for you to go and say, write me a book report on this. That would be horrible. You're rotting your brain. And I'm worried about the future society that's going to come out if more and more people are doing that. Right?
Even if it's generating an answer, you still want to go back because there's computer error, right? So you still want to go back and reread what's going on, what they put down, because if it doesn't even sound like you, or if it's just off the wall, or maybe it's 2 different topics that are the same word, like you can use the word witch. So you could be talking about a witch in general, like a character, and it goes into witch. Yeah. So we as humans, we need to look at it, even though AI is all generated, it's by speech prompts from humans. However, you still need to go back and reread it. So that also prevents the brain rot too, is that you want to look at the grammar and the spelling. Computers aren't always going to do correct grammar, right? So, you can have a run-on sentence and it's like, wait a second, I don't want a run-on sentence. I want it to stop here and then continue, right? So you need to kind of proofread it as well. I mean, if you want to be lazy and just copy paste it and you're sending off this email and it sounds absolutely horrible, and it's like you're in a mad rage where it's like, no, I just want it to be firm, but not mad rage, So
but
the tone.
People do, right? People do produce that email and they read it and they copy and paste the original email, say reply to this, and they read it and go, yeah, it's pretty good. That sounds like something I would send, and then they send it. That still causes brain rot because they didn't do anything themselves, right? They only copy and paste it, and I'm worried about that person's future if they keep on doing that. Because they're going to lose that critical thinking.
Yes.
They're going to lose the ability to be creative. Let's face it, AI is still not creative. It doesn't have that EQ that we have, right? It doesn't have all of that. So we've got to put that in there. The human working with AI is going to produce far better stuff than AI on its own right now. Now, 10 years from now, I don't know. Maybe somehow AI is going to have EQ and it's going to be able to add the emotional part into it. But right now, it's just working off trained data that from millions and millions of points of data. So that everybody has produced over the last many times. The other thing I just want to say is, by the way, if you want AI, if you want ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude to write in your tone, train it in your tone. Upload documents that you've done, like for yourself, Deena, you're a writer. Take your documents and start uploading them into ChatGPT or whatever, and start letting it, and tell it to summarize it, even though you already know what it is. Tell it to summarize, but it's going to store all of that in memory. And now when you go to write, tell it to write in your tone, right? So that if you do need something, or edit this in my tone, expand it or accentuate it in my tone, right? Otherwise, that is a way for AI to catch that you didn't do it, because it's not your tone. Your tone changes in the last paragraph or whatever, right?
Right.
Right.
Nice.
So just to summarize quickly, number 1 was subscribe to at least 3 AI newsletters. That's what I did. Number 2, I listened to 15 to 30 minutes per day of AI, YouTube, and videos and podcasts. Number 3 was use at least 3 AI tools every single day. Make that a habit. Any tools, doesn't matter what they are. And number 4 was explore at least one new tool and use it every day that week, right?
Yeah.
So those are the 4 things that I did when I got started with AI, and I still do it today. Today I do much, much more than that. But that's the bare minimum that I think anybody should do. And in 6 months from now, you won't recognize people around you, won't recognize who you've become.
Yeah. Awesome. That's amazing. Thank you, Allan. And that was a fully loaded episode. So
I love it.
Go back and get your Coles notes, get some summary.
Check out the links that we will share in the show notes as well.
Yeah,
and
Allan will stick them in there. Yeah.
The confidence that you can feel by exploring, just get in there, dig in, play.
Have fun.
Learn.
Shift.
Yeah. Just learn. You can't break anything, so just learn.
You can break your ego just a little bit by going, "Oh, I think I know all this stuff," and then it's like, "No, you don't." Oh, okay, wow.
That's right.
It's okay. We all eat humble pie, so it's good. We learn all the time. So thank you, Allan. That was amazing. If you guys want to go follow Allan and if you have any questions for him, by all means, you can ask, and he'll put all the good stuff in the bottom in the comments for you guys, so you can click on some links or his book, whatever little tidbits in there. So that's perfect. Thank you, Allan. That was amazing.
And I just want to say, by the way, thank you to you guys. Thank you, Cari, and thank you, Deena. Nice meeting you, Deena. And I will post all this under. And you guys, follow this. These guys may not want to say it, but I'll tell you, follow this this podcast. Both Cari's podcast and then the one that Cari and Deena do together. Subscribe. You're going to learn stuff. I'm not the only one that comes on these podcasts that teaches you stuff. There's lots of good stuff. I've been watching some of them, and they're really good.
Thank you.
So I do recommend people do it. I think you guys do a great job. Appreciate
it. Thank you. We try. Some days it's not so great, and other days they just,
we're human.
We go with it, and that's exactly it. That's why that's all part of it, is learning and growing. And I love our guests that we've had on. I mean, if you guys want to also be a guest, you can also contact us, and we'll see what your expertise is, and maybe we can make a shift happen show with your expertise. So who knows? It's always interesting to see what comes out of the woodwork. So thank you again, Allan. What comes out of the gigabytes?
That's right.
All
right. Well, thank you very
much. Thanks, Allan.
Sure.
Okay, have a great day.
Bye.
Wow. Did you learn something new real quick?
Of course.
Amazing. That was good. That was amazing and so fun. Yeah. Don't be afraid of using AI. I like the fact just learning a little tool every single day and kind of go with it and flow with it and shift.
The thing I loved too was asking one generator to help you communicate with the other and really amp up your responses. I think that's really helpful. And don't think a prompt has to be really short. You can make them, the longer the better. You're going to get better results. So there's a lot of gold in here.
Absolutely. If you can go back and watch the show, I highly recommend that you do. Otherwise, just try and get a summary out of it. But man, I learned so much in just a short amount of time. And you think like I know how to use it. We don't even know how to use it.
Yeah. But we can learn. And
we're learning.
So Yeah.
learning. Yeah.
Put
We'll
the
see.
doom
Maybe the
scroll.
next show, we'll see if we learn something new by then.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll challenge.
We
And you at
challenge
home,
everybody.
go learn. All right. Have a great night, everyone. And thanks for
Bye.
sticking with us. Goodbye.